Louisiana Beer Review 7, King Cobra Malt Liquor. King Cobra Malt Liquor was introduced by Anheuser-Busch in 1984. I think this was a replacement for a malt liquor they made called Budweiser Malt Liquor, which came out in 1972. I'm not sure about this, but I know that Budweiser Malt Liquor was their first and only malt liquor at that time. And I know until the Hurricane brands came out in the mid-90s that King Cobra was Anheuser-Busch's only malt liquor. It's still a top-selling malt liquor for the company. The website said they've been selling over 1 million barrels a year for the last 2 years. King Cobra is 6% alcohol. Back in the 90s, I had literature that I received literature from Anheuser-Busch, which indicated that it was 5.9% alcohol, so maybe they bumped it up just a tad. They say it's brewed with, and here's a modern can of King Cobra premium malt liquor. They say it's brewed with 6-row barley malt. And this can says, smooth tasting premium malt liquor, naturally brewed from select ingredients for your drinking pleasure and complete satisfaction. According to the website, it's produced at a little higher temperature to give it a sweetness. It's made with barley malt, water, corn, yeast, and some sort of hops. I don't know, they don't indicate. Here are some older cans. Here's a King Cobra malt liquor can from sometime in the late, okay, this is 02. I was going to say the 90s. This is 02. Here's a can from 05. It's a little bit different. They changed it to where it said premium malt. You might remember the old cans from the early 90s, which had the big hooded Cobra on it. And when King Cobra first came out in 84, you could see it in bottles, 12-ounce bottles with a shroud, similar to the Michelob bottles. It was packaged in a pretty nice presentation. Now it's mostly in cans, 16-ounce cans. A lot of times you see it in 24-ounce cans. Very common in 40-ounce bottles. I'll advise an advisory about the bottles is I would avoid getting King Cobra in the clear bottles because the clear glass can cause light to spoil the beer. So if you want to drink it, I would recommend the cans. Before I go on with the review, I want to show you a few things that are no longer made by Anheuser-Busch, just for your curiosity. This is something called Red Wolf. It came out in 1995. It was a red lager, sort of made to compete with Red Dog. Didn't catch on and it's not made anymore. Another thing that came out about 10 years ago was Kalani's Red Lager. I guess it was meant to compete with some of the other red lagers that you see, but it didn't catch on either. This is Anheuser-Busch World Select. This was probably made to compete with Heineken. This never caught on. It was test marketed around Louisiana for sure. I tried it. I thought it was okay. It just wasn't out very long. Now with the King Cobra review. Let me get the can. Very cold can of King Cobra premium malt liquor. 6% alcohol by volume. Open it up here. Lots of smoke coming out the can, which is a good sign. Still coming out. Very good sign. Repouring it. King Cobra has a very thick white head. It has a extremely clear, highly carbonated straw appearance. crystal clear, very filtered, sets up very nice in the glass. The website indicates that it's brewed for a bold, full-bodied taste, and I've always found that it has that. If you look on Beer Advocate or Rate Beer or the Beer and Me, they don't typically like it. It has a D+ rating right now on Beer Advocate. Let's top this off here. Oh yeah, it looks nice. Okay, it looks pretty. Straw appearance. The aroma, you do pick up sweetness here. And I'm getting it in my nose here. Getting right down to it. Right, getting right down in it. The overriding smell here is grain, sweet corn, I suppose that is. It's a mild aroma. It's not offensive by any stretch of the imagination. I think most people would probably categorize it as a stereotypical beer smell. And one more note about malt liquor. Malt liquor is simply just beer. When malt liquors first came out in the late 40s, they had to come up with the name malt liquor because they couldn't sell it as extra strong beer because the U.S. government trade regulations don't allow beer to be sold with a high alcohol content. And you can't, in your advertising, try to promote the alcohol content as a selling point. So what you'll notice about malt liquors is they'll have horses, kicking horses, eagles, cobras, hurricanes, mean looking dogs, because they have to be sly about promoting the alcohol. So they promote the alcohol content without promoting the alcohol content. They talk about how bold it is. The head doesn't really stay around too long. It's a frothy head. It's white. It dissipates pretty quickly. Well, let's go ahead and give this a taste. It has a bold flavor. You can pick up the barley, 6-row barley malt, which is sort of a cheap barley. You can maybe taste the corn a little bit in the middle. There's an underlying hop bitterness, but it's very minimal. They have to add some hops to give it a little bite. It has some bite to it, and it's got a medium body. It's not super light bodied like you'd think. Well, let me say it's light to medium bodied. You can see a fairly good amount of lacing around on this glass. So that's a good sign. Like the can says here, naturally brewed from select ingredients. I don't know how select the ingredients are. I know Anheuser-Busch has pretty solid brewing standards, so I doubt it's trash. It doesn't taste like it's made with trash. I know there's some malt liquors that are notoriously poor, some of these high gravity horrors, which I don't fool around with because I had to pour one down the drain. But this is a nice solid malt liquor. I like to drink malt liquor sometimes because it does have that a little bit of the harshness. This doesn't really have that, but some malt liquors have the harshness that jarring drinking experience. You get the elevated alcohol, which I like to. I enjoy that. Not to say I enjoy the drunk. I don't enjoy the the getting drunk characteristics of it, but I enjoy that. That alcohol feel. You can feel it throughout your body. Of course, it's relaxing and it gives you a good feeling. But make you talk too much at a party. But you do have that malt liquor long taste, I guess you could call it. It's not a bad aftertaste. You do taste the fresh water, and Anheuser-Busch not going to use anything but high quality, well filtered water. What would I compare this to? What would I compare this beer to? It does have some Budweiser characteristics. It has some Busch characteristics. I'm gonna say that it finishes crisp, clean, refreshing. I'm gonna give it I gave it a C+ on Beer Advocate. I'm gonna still stick with a C+. It's above average. I could go toward a B- because it's good. I mean, I like it. You asked me, would I like drinking this beer? Yeah, I like drinking this malt liquor. Yes, I enjoy it. I would bring it to some, if I was going out to watch a game with some friends, gonna go to a barbecue, I'd bring this malt liquor. A lot of people would be afraid to try it because they're weak in their approach to beer drinking. They shy away from anything bold. I don't. So here's the heater coming on, so it might make some background noise. But anyway, I'm gonna recommend this. I think you should go out and try it. Just avoid the clear glass bottle. I'm really enjoying this drinking session right now. I'm gonna enjoy drinking the rest of this glass, and let me assure you of that. And I wanna finish this review by saying, oh, that's good. Y'all come on down to New Orleans. Thanks.